I still can't believe you proposed. I'm so excited I don't think I can sleep. We have so much to talk about and plan. I should probably ask my friends about what they think too.
I'm just so glad you said yes. I was so nervous. I planned it and everything, but I almost wussed out. But you said yes, so it's official. I guess we should talk to our parents about it. Is your father old school? Like, should I have asked him for your hand in marriage? That type of thing?
I don't think so, Toby. My dad's pretty quiet and mild-mannered. I don't think he cares about old traditions like that.
Oh, good. I realized that it was a thing after I planned everything, but I didn't want to delay it to ask your father for permission.
That's an old tradition. I mean, my father's kind of traditional, I guess, but doesn't force that on us. He'll be glad I'm married and taken care of. That's for sure. And of course, there are certain expectations, I guess, when it comes to weddings, but I think it's all pretty normal stuff.
Okay, let me know if I do something wrong. I don't want them to dislike me.
They'll love you. They have to because I love you. That's how it works with family.
I like that. So let's go meet them soon. You told them about me, right?
Of course. I told them all about you when we started dating, and they ask me about you sometimes. My parents have 2 daughters and my sister isn't married, so you're basically their first son.
I hadn't thought about it that way. That seems really special. You know, it's only been 8 months since we started dating, so it makes sense we haven't met each other's parents. But since we're getting married, we should do it soon.
Yeah, I want to meet your family too. They must be so cool. Your house is pretty big, right?
The house is on the big side, yes, but they're not all that cool. I know you've seen my father on billboards for his real estate business, but he's a pretty regular guy.
Except he's rich. That's not regular. I'm sure he's super interesting. I can't wait to meet him. I'm gonna be his favorite daughter-in-law.
That's a good attitude to have. I love that positivity and ambition.
You know us Latinas. We get through life with a smile on our face.
That is the right attitude to have, for sure. So, how do you say husband in Spanish?
Esposo. You're going to be my esposito. That's like hubby in English.
Esposito. Sounds good.
And that makes me your esposita. I can't wait for our future together to begin. I can't wait to be happily married ever after to my man. From tomorrow, I'm going to start planning the wedding. It's going to be amazing. I want all my dreams to come true. It just so happens that I know a wedding planner. I'll have to get together with her and discuss what I want.
Okay, great. You get on with that. By the way, how much money have you managed to save up? I have some myself, but I was just wondering about you.
Money? Why are you asking me?
I was just thinking that after we get married, we would put our money together. We would both be responsible for the bills and everything. What do you think? It's normal these days, isn't it? It's not the 1950s anymore. You can't expect the man to pay for everything. And I know women wouldn't want it that way anyway. You don't want to be subservient to a man, do you?
I don't have any money. I haven't saved anything. You know my family background and history. I come from a poor family. When I was young, it was difficult for us. We really struggled to get by, so I didn't get much from my parents. When I did get my own job, I just didn't manage to save that much money. Bills and rent are really expensive these days. It's difficult just to get by, never mind saving money for the future. I'd say it's nearly impossible. Tobias, my family wasn't like yours. You were rich, I was poor.
Okay, I understand. It's not a problem that you don't have that much saved up. I understand your background and how you've been paying for yourself since you were 18. But even a small amount of money would be able to help us. Also, we can spend money according to our earning power. No need to go over the top. If we have to be frugal, then let's do that. We should be sensible with money. It's the best way.
Maybe I could check my bank later, but I don't think I have more than a few $100 in there. A wedding's gonna cost some money. We'll manage with what we have. Why do you sound so worried? We can talk tomorrow when I get more of an idea of what I want and what things cost, okay? There's no use talking about it when we have no idea about any of the details.
Okay, let's do that.
Hey, did you miss me? Were you thinking of me last night? I was thinking about our wedding, and the more I think about it, the more I realize what a huge event this is for our lives.
Well, yeah, getting married is a big deal, I know.
This wedding needs to be absolutely superb. It's our forever memory, and I want everything to be perfect. I want a really nice ring. You said we'll go shopping together, but I've been looking online and have some I want to show you. And of course, I want a good wedding photographer. We want photos and videos of the day so we can look at them when we're old. And for Insta, of course. And the best ever honeymoon is a must. It has to be exotic but fancy, somewhere hot with a beach. We have to sit down and have a long talk about what we want to splurge on to have the most memorable wedding. I'm thinking classy, high quality, but fun. I think it's what we deserve.
That was a lot. What brought this on? I thought you didn't mind.
I am a woman. I want a romantic wedding. And romantic wedding often means an expensive wedding. Who wants to save money on their wedding and honeymoon? Certainly not me. We will keep those photos for the rest of our lives, so they better be good ones. And the honeymoon is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Why would we go for a cheap option? What will happen when our friends ask us about it? Would you want to tell them we did something cheap? What would they think? We'd be laughed at. Other people are going to the Maldives and we just went to some cheap location? I'd be embarrassed. We should at least go to an exotic location with a nice beach.
I'm not against this in principle, but I do worry about the cost. But if it's what you really want, then we should really consider doing it. I don't want you to be disappointed. I did mention us putting our money together and sharing the cost, do you remember?
How much money have you got?
Me? Well, about $200,000.
Wow, that's a lot. That's totally enough for what I want. You know my savings goal? Next year, I intend to have about $2,000 in saving. Not quite as much as you, but still good, I think. I guess we might not be traveling first class when we go, but the trip itself shouldn't be a problem. You have a good job and you have lots of savings. What are you worried about? I guess you'll just have to treat me like a princess and sweep me off my feet. I wish I could contribute more, but what can I do? I think it's the man's job to pay anyway, don't you agree?
Maybe we need to think about this before we decide anything.
You don't need to think. Why hesitate? I can't stand taking too long over a decision. In my opinion, you should just follow your heart. When you know something is right for you, then just do it. My friend has also introduced me to a really good wedding planner. I spoke with her and she told me what was on offer. I want to go with the most expensive option. It sounded so amazing. It was everything I wanted and dreamed of.
Well, if that's really what you want.
Congratulations! I heard you proposed to my sister.
Hey, Mary, thanks. Yeah, I know it's soon, but I know I love your sister, and like Haley says, why wait? I hope you're okay with me getting married to her. We only met a couple of times before.
Of course I'm okay with it. You're a gentleman, and I had a great time when I went out with you and Haley. I think you'll be a great husband for Haley. She loves you so much. She won't shut up about you.
Well, sorry about that, I guess. Has she talked to you about the wedding?
She's been talking about the wedding nonstop. It's gonna be the most beautiful wedding ever. She's going over every detail.
That was fast. We just got engaged. Actually, I just started looking at the engagement rings. There are a crazy amount of choices out there. I'm not sure what's appropriate for us. I think something modest would be better suited for daily wear, but I'm not a woman, so what do you think?
Modest? You mean small? The engagement is something the girl shows to people when she tells them she's chosen the person she's gonna be with. It makes an impression. It symbolizes your love and also your capacity as a man. Weddings are all about showing your commitment to the world.
I guess that's true. I was thinking more about marriage than the actual wedding when I proposed.
That's okay. Leave the wedding stuff to us girls. Haley's loving every minute of sorting through colors and fabrics. She's going through every celebrity wedding photo she can find on the internet.
I'm kind of getting worried. I'm not sure what's expected of me by your parents, for example.
It'll be fine. Haley doesn't want any Mexican wedding stuff, so it'll all be pretty standard. We grew up in Connecticut, so we didn't have much Mexican culture around when we were kids. She wants to be a fairy tale princess.
A princess, huh? So that makes me a prince?
Yeah, or a knight in shining armor. This is basically her Cinderella story.
That seems a little dramatic. I really hope I can make her happy. What if she wants horses or something?
Then let her have horses. What are you, a cheapskate? This is her dream wedding. You know how we grew up super poor on welfare and in subsidized housing? Things were really tough.
Yeah, Haley told me a little bit about it. You both got scholarships for university, right?
That was the only way we could get out of there. Mom and Dad are still scraping by on what they get from welfare and disability. Dad got hurt on a job site when he first immigrated here. Haley and I both try and pitch in when we can.
I heard. It's really impressive that you both became independent and are supporting yourselves and your family.
Family supports each other. You should remember that since you're joining our family.
Gotcha. I plan to be supportive of Haley as much as I can. She's a great hairstylist, and she's a real people person. I'm sure she would be amazing at whatever she puts her mind to.
I don't think she's gonna want to go back to working in a hair salon. She'd make a great mom, though. Once you're married, a baby is definitely on the horizon. She's gonna want to focus on that, probably.
Right? But in due time, right? I think it's better to be prepared financially and be settled down before actually starting a family.
You're so responsible. You're like the perfect husband for Haley. Just don't think you can control her. She's strong-willed.
Yeah, I know. She is very determined when she sets her mind to something.
So a gorgeous wedding is not something you can skimp on. Just think of it as an investment in your future.
I suppose what you're saying makes sense. I just don't feel that strongly about weddings.
'Cause you're a guy. You just don't get it.
Maybe. Anyway, let me know if I mess up since I can't keep up with all this wedding stuff.
You know I will. You know you should buy presents for the bridesmaids too. A fancy designer bag for myself. I'm hoping you can make me happy.
Sure, you choose just one you like and I'll buy it. I guess it's part of the wedding expenses.
Great! Thanks so much. It's so lucky that you met a rich guy like you.
I'm not a rich guy. I have a decent salary, but it's not that good. I still have to be careful with my spending. I can't just throw around money and not think about it. But this is a special occasion, so maybe I can do so here.
Sure. Don't be too humble. I'll send you a link when I find the bag I want. Welcome to the family. Let me know if you need help finding a good gift for my parents.
Oh, right, thanks.
Hey, Toby, I'm just about to meet with the wedding planner. We're gonna talk about what I want. I still haven't sorted out the honeymoon. I've not decided exactly what I want, but I'll get to that soon. I saw a few cheap options recently, but it isn't good enough. I want high-class travel. I think I'll try to find a travel agency soon and discuss it with them. What about the house? We aren't gonna live with our parents anymore, are we? Have you found a house for us to move into?
Sorry I couldn't go with you today. About the house, I found something near where I work. It's only a small place, 1 bedroom, a living room, and a bathroom. It's an apartment in an apartment block. It's not too expensive either, suitable for a newly married couple.
1 room? Are you crazy? Why would we want to move into such a small apartment? I don't even want to move into an apartment at all. I don't want noisy neighbors eavesdropping on us all the time. You know how I grew up. I want a house. Why can't we have our own house with a garden and everything?
There's nothing wrong with an apartment. I checked it out. It's a nice place, just a little small. and I don't think that noise will be much of a problem.
I can't believe you think this is okay. How can I accept this? I deserve a certain level of living standard, don't you think? I hate apartments. They're for poor folk. I can't stand the idea of living in one of those. You need to reconsider. I want a house with a garden. I was even hoping we could have a pool, and now you surprise me with this dinky apartment? Oh my goodness, how can I take this?
We could maybe get something a bit bigger if we took out a loan. What about a 2-room apartment? Would that be okay?
No way! I hate apartments. I already told you that.
Well, maybe there's a cheaper house in the area that we could move into. But it would be more expensive, and it's a bit risky taking out loans these days. You've seen the interest rate, haven't you? What if we can't pay off the loan and we end up in a debt trap? It might get really bad for us, so we don't want to rush into anything we might regret in the future. I really think we should just go for the cheapest option. We're already going to be spending enough on the wedding, the ring, and the honeymoon. We don't want to go crazy with the house too.
Maybe you have a point. We also need some money for the baby.
The baby?
Yeah, I want a baby as soon as possible. I think now is the right time. Maybe when we're on our honeymoon, we could try to conceive? Wouldn't that be wonderful? I think it's a natural time to get pregnant. Then when the baby's born, we can name it after the place where I got pregnant.
Are you going to be working when you have this child?
No, of course not. I'll be a housewife. Why would I work when I need to look after the baby? After we get married, I won't be able to work. I'll be busy looking after the house and the baby. You'll have to be the sole breadwinner. I'm sure we'll be able to manage just fine. You earn a lot of money. You get a lot of money in your current job, and if it's not enough, then you'll just have to try and get a promotion.
I don't think it'll be that easy. What if we get into financial difficulty? You should be prepared to work too. I know it's nice to stay at home and look after the baby, but a lot of mothers work too these days. Maybe you could work part-time to help lift the burden? There are many support systems set up to get women back into work. Some companies offer maternity pay, subsidized childcare, and stuff like that.
If we get a loan to buy a house, then we don't have to pay as much money up front. It'll be easier for you. What about asking your dad? Couldn't he lend you some money? I know he's a rich guy too. He must have accumulated a lot of wealth over his lifetime. I think that parents should help their children when they get married. It's normal, isn't it?
I don't want to ask my parents for help with this wedding or the house. I don't want to add stress into their lives. I've got my own life. I should look after myself. Also, my parents are nearly retired. They don't want to be thinking about spending money on their children. I'm an adult, and I don't think it's right to be asking for financial help from my parents unless it's absolutely necessary. My dad already did enough for me. He raised me well and spent a lot of money on my education. Thanks to him, I've got a great job for myself now. I can't go back and ask for more financial help from him. It just wouldn't be right. I think you're not really helping her.
Me? You think it's my fault?
If I'm being honest, I think your demands are too much. Your expectations have been getting higher and higher. First, it was the expensive wedding, then the honeymoon, now it's the house and baby? Then you say you have no plans to work and the whole thing will just be on my shoulders. It really is a lot for me. I think we need to live within our means. Maybe we could have a cheaper honeymoon. I don't think that we need to go to the most expensive location. Just somewhere nice for the two of us. And who cares about what other people say? Maybe we could go to the Maldives. But it would be best if we travel in economy class and stay in a medium price hotel. I think if we do the most expensive thing all the time, it's going to be really difficult financially. Then, after marriage, we need an affordable place to live in. The first place might not be a nice house with a garden, but we can work our way towards that as the time goes by.
Oh my god, really? Do we have to? I think you should follow my advice and ask your dad for help. Who knows what he might say? He might even be happy to help us. As for the house, isn't it better if we buy a nice place straight away? We don't want to live somewhere ugly and then spend every day wanting to move. We can get a loan and pay it off. That way we can have the house we want now instead of later.
Yeah, but I want to live near to work. I don't want to spend too much time commuting. It would be really annoying for me. Maybe in the future we could move out to the suburbs. I might be able to negotiate remote working, but I can't do it right now.
Well, whatever happens, I still want the most expensive honeymoon. I'm not gonna budge on that.
We haven't even finalized the wedding plans yet. Let's just get that sorted, and then we can see what we can do. I think we should plan this whole thing one step at a time. What do you think?
If we have to.
So, what do you think about this one?
Wow, it looks good. It's so big. Did your dad help you out with this? I told you all along to ask him. I knew he'd be happy to help.
No, it's not that. I didn't ask him. This is a rental home. I don't like the idea of getting a massive loan, so for the time being, we'll just have to rent. It might be a waste of money, but it's much less risky. Maybe if you got a job, then we could do it differently.
You're still going on about me getting a job?
Well, if you won't, then we'll just have to settle for this. If you want a nice place to live in, then we have no choice but to rent. I can't afford to buy something like this yet. If you're not going to work, then what can I do? I can't afford it all on my own. I've got a good job, but it's not that good. We'll just have to save up a bigger deposit and buy in the future.
Rent? What a waste of money. Do we really have to do it like this? We don't want to be renting after we get married. We should really buy something of our own. It just doesn't feel right living in a house that wasn't truly ours.
What other options do we have?
I have no idea. Anyway, I like this place, so I guess we should go with that for now. I couldn't live in a smaller place, so I guess we'll just have to go with this. If only you could get a promotion, and if only your dad would help us out a little bit. We'd be in a much better position, and I'm sure we'd be able to get what we actually want.
Hey, son, how are the wedding plans? Dad, it's going great. Things are moving ahead smoothly. Tobias, is there anything I can do to help? You're my only son, so I wish there was something more I could do. If you need anything, then don't hesitate to ask. No, Dad, there's nothing you can do. I've got it all under control. I can handle this. I'm a grown man now, about to start his own family. I know exactly what I'm doing. Really? Are you sure? You don't want any money towards this? We can help if you need it. No, it's totally fine. I can handle it. I can stand on my own 2 feet now. I don't need my parents to help me pay. I knew you'd grow up to be a real man. I brought you up to be a guy who can look after himself. That's right, Dad. You raised me well. I remember all the lessons you taught me as a child, especially about finance and being a provider. Thanks to you, I'm the man that I am today. Where would I be without you? Oh, it's nothing, son. No need to thank me. By the way, your future wife said she wants to talk to me sometime soon. Do you know what this is about? You two aren't having any problems, are you? She seemed a little flustered by something. She wants to talk to you? Is that what she said? That's right. She just contacted me all of a sudden and said she has something important to discuss. I presume she's already talked about whatever it is with you? I'm not so sure, to be honest. Maybe I should talk to her and see what it is. You contacted my dad? What did you do that for?
Oh, you've already spoken to your father about it? That was quick. I haven't even had time to speak with him. I just told him I wanted to talk. I thought he was going to keep it a secret, but it seems that isn't the case.
Well, what do you want to talk to him about? And why didn't you talk to me about it first? He just suddenly brought it up today. He told me that you wanted to talk to him. Is that true? I had no idea what he was talking about.
I just wanted to talk to him because I'm about to become his daughter-in-law. I wanted to see if there was anything I was supposed to do in my new role. I'm joining your family, so I didn't want any surprises. I think it's normal to do this before a wedding.
Is that it? Is that all you wanted to talk about? Are you sure that there isn't something else?
What more could there be?
Maybe something to do with the house? Or something to do with borrowing money?
Okay, I'll be straight with you. I may have been planning to ask him something along those lines. You know I'm not from a rich family. I just think it's a waste that you have wealthy parents and you're not going to ask them to help you. They could really help us out when it comes to buying the house. I don't think it's anything to be embarrassed of. What's the point in a silver spoon if you're not going to eat with it?
I think my dad has already done enough for me. I don't think I need to ask him for more.
Why can't he help you out one last time? This can be his final act before you start your own family.
No, I don't want you even talking about this with him. Promise me that you won't. In fact, why don't you just cancel the meeting you have? You're gonna really make me mad if you just keep going on like this.
Lighten up, it's not that bad. Don't you think you're overreacting? How can this make you so mad? It really won't be much of a burden to your parents. They are rich, it'll be nothing to them, I'm sure.
It's not just about the burden it will cause them, it's about the principle. I don't want to go back to my parents and ask for more money. I am a grown man and I don't need their help anymore. It'll be a burden on me to pay for all of this stuff, but I know I can do it. I'd rather it be a burden on me than on my parents. We can easily get married and start a family life. We just need to live within our means. As long as we spend wisely, we will be able to do this by ourselves. We've already talked this over and I thought you agreed. There's certainly no need to go begging from my parents.
Hey, you there?
Oh, hi, what's up?
Something really bad happened. I'm gonna be in huge trouble if you don't help me. I lost a lot of money. I'm in debt to some scary people. The total amount is $20,000. Please don't tell anyone about this. A lot of the people involved are doing illegal things, so it could get me in danger. You never know who's connected to who. I just hope I can get out of this.
What happened?
It was all because of my job. You came to the bar I work at once, remember? It's a sports bar. I've been working for my boss since right out of high school, and he's like my uncle or something. He's always been there for me, you know? Last week he told me the bar had some expenses that needed to be covered right away, but he was short on cash. He wanted me to lend him the money for just a few weeks. I didn't want to at first, but it was my boss. Paul never asked me for money before, and he sounded like he really needed it. I trusted him and I felt I couldn't say no. He lent me money before too, so how could I turn him down? I was worried that I might lose my job if I didn't go along with it. So I lent him the money, but then the next day he wouldn't answer my text or phone calls, and he hasn't come into work either. He just took off and disappeared. I didn't know what to do, so I went into work, and that's when some scary men came to the bar and told me they were looking for Paul. They didn't threaten me, but they told me not to call the police or tell them anything if they asked. They told me to call if Paul came back. It was so scary. They told me he owed a lot of money for some big bet he'd lost. I guess he was doing a lot of sports gambling. I really don't know anything about that stuff. He took my money, and now who knows where he's gone. Maybe he used my money then ran off so he didn't have to pay me back.
Are you telling me that he took $20,000 from you and then just disappeared? Do you know where he might have gone?
No idea. He could have left the country for all I know. Maybe I'll never see that money again. I'm literally broke now. I've got almost nothing left. What am I gonna do? I'm in a living hell right now. How am I gonna tell my family that I lost all that money? What would they think of me? I'm so depressed, I think I might have to go to a doctor. Every time I think I'm okay, I'm suddenly reminded of that money and I just feel so bad again. But maybe there is someone who can help me.
Who?
Maybe you? I know you got a lot of money. Couldn't you help me out? Maybe just give me a bit of cash? I'm sure in time I'll get that money back, but right now I've got nothing and there are so many expenses. Maybe you could give me some just to see me through this bad time.
I'd love to help you, I really would, but I don't actually have that much myself. The wedding is coming up and I'm really short for cash. I don't really have anything to give you.
Not even just once? Not even just a little bit of cash to get me through to next month? I literally don't even have money for food next week.
Maybe I could lend you a little bit of money. I wouldn't want you to be completely broke. What's your account? Is it the same as last time?
Yes, it is.
I'll send you a little bit of money over.
Thanks so much. You're really saving me here.
Hey, are you there? Where are you? Why won't you reply to me? Hey, I can't get in contact with your sister. Do you know what's going on with her?
Mary? Yeah, she's disappeared into thin air. I don't know all the details, but she's on the run. She's always talked about going island hopping in the Caribbean, so that's my best guess as to where she is now. Her boss told me she emptied the cash register when she was closing and just disappeared into the night.
What? You talked to his boss?
Of course, my mom and dad were worried when she wasn't answering their calls, so I went to the bar she works at. It's a sports bar. I've known her boss, Paul, for years.
Yeah, Paul. Mary mentioned him. I met him for a second when we went there too. He seemed like a nice guy.
Too nice for his own good. I guess that's why Mary did it. Paul told me he's not calling the police on her because he believes she'll come back eventually. He says she must have had a reason and he just hopes she's all right. The man is a sweetheart.
Wow, that is really generous of him, but aren't you worried about what Mary's up to? I mean, she stole from her workplace and disappeared, right?
She's 25. She can take care of herself. She's always been spontaneous, but she's a smart girl. She knows what she can get away with.
What about your mom and dad? They must be worried sick.
Not really. They're concerned, but there's no reason to think she's in danger or anything. She's probably just blowing off some steam. She's always pushed the boundaries a little when it comes to men and money. Paul's just one example.
What do you mean?
I mean, they had a thing, obviously. She had him wrapped around her little finger since he's married and all. She was friendly with his kids and everything.
Oh, wow, I had no idea. You're okay with stuff like that? Didn't you advise your sister against that kind of relationship?
She wouldn't listen anyway, but she wasn't with him for too long. She told me she was dating some younger guys at the bar lately. Maybe one of them asked her on a vacation and she needed some quick cash. That sounds like something that Mary would do.
Some guy invites her on vacation and she just steals money from her workplace, then just disappears? That sounds crazy to me.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. She doesn't tell me everything she has going on in her life. But to be honest, it's probably something to do with a guy. We'll see when she comes back.
I can't believe you're so relaxed about this. She has basically committed a crime on the run.
It's not that big of a deal. It's not like she's even in real trouble yet. We'll just have to be supportive of her when she gets back. She's family. Of course, we're worried she'll get hurt on one of her wild escapades, but there's not much we can do about it.
I suppose so. I hope you hear from her soon. I still think your parents must be feeling horrible. Shouldn't we visit them?
They're okay. They're used to Mary going off the rails once in a while. We'll plan a visit soon. Maybe Mary will be back by then, though.
Hopefully.
Why did you want to get in contact with her anyway?
I just need to talk to her about something.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll find her soon. I'm sure she's okay. Maybe she just wanted to be alone for a while. I'm sure there is a perfectly reasonable explanation for all of this. No need to worry. Oh, by the way, have you paid the money for our house? We need to pay the deposit by tomorrow. You didn't forget, did you?
No. I know to do that. I remembered.
I have really compromised with you about this house. You know I wanted something better for us. Something that suits my needs. Well, I have accepted your proposal, but I'm not prepared to go any lower. I want something nice to live in, so don't disappoint me. As for the wedding, I'm hoping you can buy me a luxury bag too, and maybe one for my mother. She likes luxurious things, and she'd be so happy if you got one for her. And what about a car? Do you have enough money for that? We could buy a nice Mercedes or something similar. I would be so disappointed if you can't buy all these things. I'd be heartbroken. Women need expensive things.
Wait a moment.
What is it?
We just need a little time to think. I think you're moving too fast with all of this. Your expectations are way too high. I'm worried that if the slightest thing goes wrong, then you're gonna feel really bad.
What do you mean? We've had this planned out for months. You can't change your mind now.
It's just something has come up. I'm just feeling all confused right now. I think we might need to postpone the wedding or something like that.
What are you talking about? Why would we need to do that?
Just wait for a short while, okay? I just need some time to think and get my thoughts together. I'll contact you soon. Don't worry, just wait for me.
Hey baby, I was in the city today having a coffee and now I've got some free time. I'm just outside your work. Why don't you come on down and see me for a while? I'm sure you can make time for me. Come and talk to me. Baby, are you there? Why didn't you read my messages? What are you doing? You haven't replied to me at all. I'm worried. I'm outside your house now. Where are you? I know you said you need some time to think, but can't you talk with me too? I'm really worried about you. If you don't want to meet me face to face, then at least let's have a phone call. Get back to me as soon as possible. If there's a problem, then you can tell me. We can talk about it together. We can get through this. I know we can. We have a special bond between us. Is this about the house? Is it really causing you that much stress? Get back to me, please.
You there?
Oh my gosh, you finally got back to me. What took you so long? I was so worried. How could you treat me like that? What's wrong with you? We're supposed to be getting married soon. What's going on? Just tell me. Do you have some sort of secret or something?
I'm sorry, I need to talk to you about something.
What is it? What's the problem?
Okay, I'll tell you, but I don't know how you're gonna react. Sit down, this might shock you. A while back, your sister came to me and told me she had a problem. She said there was some kind of money problem and she needed to borrow some money from me. She told me that she'd be in a lot of trouble if she didn't get some money soon. She wanted to borrow $20,000. After a little bit of discussion, I decided to give her the money.
She did what? Oh my lord, I can't believe it. That's so much money. Is this why you weren't responding to my text? Because you didn't know how to tell me?
Actually, no, it wasn't the reason. I just did some thinking and maybe I'm making a mistake. I'm sorry, but I don't think that we should get married.
What, because of Mary? That's so not fair. What she did has nothing to do with me. I'm sorry she did that, but I'm sure I can get her to pay you back eventually. Why would you throw away our whole future together just because of one little thing like that? You said you loved me. I've been talking to everyone about my wedding plans. I'm gonna look like an idiot.
It's not because of Mary. Of course it's also a factor, but it's not the main one.
So what is it then?
You've been working for 10 years or so now, and you've barely managed to save any money. What have you been doing with your life? Where has all your money gone?
What do you mean? I've been paying for myself. It went to living expenses and going out.
I know you have an okay job, so why haven't you managed to save anything? Where did all your money go? You're always talking about luxury, but you've got no money. Don't you think it's a little bit stupid?
How can you say that? It just costs more to be a girl. You think it's cheap to look like this? I spend money on myself because it's a necessity. I didn't save any money because I was investing it in myself.
Clothes, makeup, and expensive clothes are an investment?
Of course. How do you not get that? If you didn't like how I looked, you wouldn't have asked me to marry you to begin with, right?
And now you expect me to pay for everything? I just don't think that we would be able to have a good future together with you expecting me to provide so much for you. Especially when you don't even plan to work at all. I want a family too, but I can't handle all that pressure. Your expectations of a luxurious lifestyle really scare me. You call me a rich guy all the time, but that's not even true. I can understand if it was something like a house or food, but luxury bags? Why should I have to pay for that? Ever since we started talking about marriage, you've been going on about first class this and luxury that. You want the most expensive option every time.
So you want to break up because I don't have money saved up? You're mad because I want to take care of myself and our kids when I get married? You're gonna leave me because of this? What do you expect me to do? I told you I wanted to have a baby as soon as we get married. How can I go out and work if I'm looking after the baby? All of my friends have got married already. A lot of them stay at home while their husband goes to work. It's normal, especially if the family has children. I don't know why you have a problem with this.
A lot of the time it just feels like you're marrying me for money. You keep coming out with a list of things you want me to buy.
Of course there's a lot of things to buy if we're getting married and moving in together. You're supposed to be a provider. This is all totally normal stuff. The woman stays at home looking after the house and the man goes out to work. And I am expensive. If you want a good-looking girl like me, then you have to be prepared to pay the price. I haven't even got anything from you yet, so don't go talking like I'm a gold digger. This is all about that money with my sister, isn't it? Why should my life be ruined because of what she did? Why did you even give her the money in the first place? Are you hiding something from me?
No, it's not that. It's not because of her. I was trying to be helpful and I gave her money. I know I was stupid. That's not why I want to break up.
We've been together for almost a year and I've been so loyal to you. How can you throw it away like this? Haven't I been a great girlfriend? You asked to marry me because you thought I'd be a good wife, right? I really look after myself and respect my man. I made sure I looked nice and cooked your favorite foods. And you're insisting that I go out and work after we get married? How can I look after myself properly if I have to do that?
I'm not insisting. I just don't think it makes sense that I'm 100% responsible for providing for the household. I understand that there are certain roles only a woman can play in raising a child, but house chores and taking care of child can also be shared responsibilities.
We don't have to worry about that now. Maybe you'll get a promotion soon and none of this would be an issue. We should just get married and make it work. You're just getting nervous.
No, I've thought about it a lot, and I'm sure we're not going to have a happy married life.
What makes you so sure? I've been a great girlfriend. You said so yourself.
It's about values and what makes you happy. If at every turn in life you want expensive stuff, it sounds like only money makes you happy. You'll always be wanting more, and that means you'll never be happy. I don't want to live life like that. I want to enjoy the regular things in life, have a stable home and family life. I don't see that with you.
That's the same thing as me wanting to be a housewife for you and our unborn children. That's stability. My friends are always sharing photos of their babies and having mommy lunches.
There's another thing. Everything you want seems to project an image to your friends or on social media. You want a nice wedding to show them, not for us. I just feel like everything we discussed was so superficial.
Weddings are like that. That doesn't have anything to do with our marriage.
My mind is made up, so I guess if you just don't see my reasoning, we'll just end it at that.
You know this is going to be the worst thing ever I'm going to have to announce to my friends. Everybody knows we're getting married. It's going to be so embarrassing to tell people. And with no real reason.
I'm sorry, but I think it's better that we call it off now than have a messy divorce later, especially with kids and stuff. We'll just go our separate ways. I wish you the best, okay?
No, I'm not letting this just end like this. We were together for almost a year. I'm 28, you know. You think you can just ask someone to marry you and then dump them after everything is set in place? I'm gonna sue you for this. You can't get away with treating me like this.
Sue me? Seriously?
Yeah, people do it all the time. Canceling a wedding is a huge deal. I think maybe $30,000 will be enough. If you don't pay me the money, I'll get a lawyer, and the amount will go up to $50,000.
What are you even talking about? Where are you getting these numbers? That is way more than the wedding was going to cost. It's crazy.
The emotional damage is something I should be compensated for. This is nothing. You should watch the news more. People break up and sue all the time.
I don't really care about what celebrity gossip columns say. That's not really relevant to our lives. In reality, I'm the one that paid for the down payments of the wedding hall and the wedding planner, so that's the money that would be relevant in this case.
Women that get dumped for no reason sue all the time. I'm gonna get what I can out of this breakup, so be prepared. It would be super unfair if my sister ended up getting more money from you than I did. How ironic is that?
Wow, I guess you're finally showing your true colors. You are exactly like your sister. You're both materialistic and only want to use men for their money. I can't believe I was fooled by both of you. I'm just glad I noticed before we got married. Do whatever you want. Talk to a lawyer for all I care. I doubt you'll be able to sue me for anything, but if I end up having to pay you some money, so be it. Anything I end up having to pay you will be worth it.
How could you say that to me? That's abuse. I'm gonna show my lawyer all your texts. And don't compare me with my sister. We both had a really tough upbringing and doing our best in life. You can't criticize that.
People have different upbringings, and I know your family had it tougher than mine, but that doesn't give you the right to use me for money. You basically want someone to provide for you financially and have no intention to work, and still have the nerve to complain about things not meeting your high standards.
I just want what I want. What is wrong with that? I thought you liked my attitude. Anyway, it's fine. You're obviously not going to be a good husband like I thought, so we're done. I'll tell my friends you tried to con me even though you were broke, and of course sue you for everything I can get. And forget about Mary too. If you're done with me, you're done with her.
No. She stole from me and took off. I am talking to the police about it this afternoon. I am sure they'll be able to help me. Mary's no master criminal. She's just a brat that kept getting away with bad deeds. They'll find her and probably put her in jail.
What? You can't do that. We were engaged when you lent her that money. Family members can't call the police for things like that. I've never heard of anything so ridiculous. I swear, leave my sister alone. She's got lots of friends you don't want to meet.
Is that another threat? I can't believe I was with you all this time and didn't realize what kind of person you are. If it was a couple of $100s, I would probably just let it go, but $20,000 is a lot of money. I've already made the appointment with the police to go in, so you should probably tell your parents. The police will probably want to talk to them too.
You are such a scumbag. Fine, I'll just use the money you pay me as compensation to pay back Mary's debt. So $50,000 minus $20,000 is $30,000. Just give me that and we'll call it even.
Nice try. Why don't you talk to your lawyer about that and have them call mine? It's no use discussing this further between the two of us. Goodbye. Please don't contact me anymore.
Wait!
I blocked Haley's number and went to the police station to make a formal statement immediately after. They ended up finding Mary living at some guy's house here in the city, so she was picked up by the police within a few days. It ended up being far more complicated because there were multiple claims from men saying essentially the same thing. She had lied and stolen from all of us. It's a whole class action suit, so I haven't gotten my money back yet, but it looks like Mary will be charged with fraud. Haley apparently did talk to a lawyer, but I never heard from anyone. I guess no one was willing to take on a case that had no merit. This combined experience with the crazy sisters has really put me off from dating, at least for the time being. I'm just glad I noticed where things were headed when I did, and hopefully, I've grown as a person and I won't make the same mistakes again. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.